How is everyone doing on this nice Friday? It's a little chilly in Detroit, but hey, it's a good day. How was everybody's Easter? Great, I hope. Um, Today I am talking to you all about something that I went through just by taking my son to the doctor. But I am going to be eating me some Wendy's as well while I talk to you all. Okay? I got some chicken nuggets. I don't know why my fry don't want to come out the box, out the bag. Okay. Okay, I had to get my thumbnail out the way. Fries, chicken nuggets, and a nice cold Coke. Okay. So, first let me start with this. And I got ranch and barbecue sauce. Let me start off with this. So, while I was in the drive-thru, I got to the first window and the person who was just taking the money so you could pay and go to the next window. I got to the window. He was calling the manager because he didn't have any singles. So I'm thinking, why did you wait to get down to no singles to ask for singles? You might want to wait till you get down to like 10 singles and be like, okay, well, I'm going to need some more singles so I don't run out. But anyway, so I sat at the window for about 2 minutes or so, just waiting on the manager to bring the singles. She brought them. Why did he pay me? My bill was like $6.35. I gave him a 20, but he returned my change in all singles. Didn't you just ask for singles? But anyway, I said, okay. You know, like he gave me all these singles back. All singles right here. Wouldn't be able to have it like that. They weren't just sitting there. And I'm thinking, why not just give me a big bill and a couple singles so you can keep as many as you want? But anyway, what do I know? So, what I'm really here to talk about is last year, my son, he's 16. For some odd reason, he just started breaking out in like these, I want to say rashes, but wasn't. But, you know, I guess they were. He was just breaking out. They just start popping up out of nowhere. He never had this happen before. Don't know where it came from, so I didn't know whether it was a staph infection or what it was. Okay. And I start, of course, like a mother. You go to the store. You know, you start getting stuff to put on it because you're like, I don't know what it is. So it wasn't going away, and every day he'd wake up and it'd be like a new one, and it would be like on his face. To me, they looked like little, I don't know what they were. Like if you skid your knee on the carpet or something, and you know how it get dark after a couple of days. But that's what it was, and I didn't know what it was. So I took him to his doctor, and they totally didn't know what it was. So what they did was they prescribed him, I believe it was something to put on it like a cream, and then it was something else, a hormone pill or something like that, and sent him home. He did that, and I don't know, it just went away after a couple of days or whether it worked, but they told me to follow through. So I took him back and did a follow-up. They still didn't know what it was, but after a couple of days, it just kind of started peeling and going away and so forth. So he got referred to a dermatologist. We went to the dermatologist. He ended up having to get the skin grafts, and to see what was going on. So they took a piece of his skin and so forth to see. He didn't like that at all. He had never been cut on or anything like that. So he's really nervous, and I understand. So they did that. They came back. The results came back. They couldn't find anything. They checked for multiple things. Couldn't find anything. They just didn't have a clue what to do. They had me taking them, getting blood work, things of that nature. So after some time went by, it came back again. So now I'm taking them to the urgent care, because it came back up and go to the urgent care. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what it was. He looked at me and was like, basically, I don't know, what it is. I ain't never seen nothing like that, and it's all on his face, on his stomach. He itched, it was kind of painful and so forth, but he didn't know what it was. So I had to make another appointment to take him back to the dermatologist because, after the first time they told me when it come back to bring him back, because the first time they did do the graft, it was kind of it had already started going away. So I took him back as soon as it came back. So they was able to get a better, graft or whatever they call it when they take some of the, can't think of it right now, and I know what it is. They did it again. Results come back. They still don't know. Period. So, that being said, I took him back and forth multiple times. They couldn't find out what was going on. Doctor said don't bother it, so forth and so forth. So, I don't know the exact time, but it was sometime after his last visit of going back and forth multiple times for a few months since this started. And I get a call from his doctor's office. And she called me just to let me know that, when the doctor's office or doctors, whatever, can't figure out what's wrong, basically, with your child, and there has been something done to their body, it's considered trauma. They don't know what it is, but it was something done, and they put it in the system as trauma. Now, when she called me, she said, the results came back unconclusive. We don't know what it is, and when we don't know what it is, we have to report it as trauma. And so, therefore, CPS, yeah, that's what I said, CPS automatically has to be basically dispatched or called or whatever when cases of trauma with the child has been put into the system. CPS is automatically called. I said, what the? I didn't get ignorant with her or anything. I'm just like, so really? CPS been called because I've been trying to help my son? I have literally been for months from the summer of 2018 all the way up into the winter or the beginning of 2009. Are you kidding me? So, the very next day, I get a call from CPS. Letting me know they was going to have to come to the house, check the house out, make sure, I guess he living in good conditions and so forth. Okay. The day after she called me. So I don't know how the transition took place, when it took place, but she called me, and the next day they called me. Now, when he called me, he didn't already went to the school and talked to my son. School didn't call me. I guess I don't know what protocol is, and say, well, CPS here to talk to your son, boom, 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 I don't know what's going on. So I don't know whether if CPS come to the school, they can't call you because they don't know what it is or whatever. All I know is I didn't get a call. CPS didn't call. They didn't ask me, well, we need to go to your son's school. Let me tell you something. They had already, I had never even talked to CPS. I didn't even know they knew. They knew exactly where his school was and went. How they found that out, I guess through his medical records, whatever. But I hadn't even talked to him, and they had already went to his school and talked to him. So, he gave me a date. He come out. I don't know how much time had then went by. 2 of them. Had to talk to everybody that lived in the house. Me, my husband. And at that time, his son was there, but he was just visiting, from college. So when they came, they talked to me, and now I'm going to be honest, I was pretty upset, but I wasn't ignorant. I didn't yell, scream, cuss. But I was so furious. You know how you get so mad and that nose get to you? I'm furious. You probably get to tearing up. I was so furious at the questions he was asking me, because in the back of my head, I'm thinking, am I literally sitting here in front of CPS because I took my child to the doctor and tried to help him? I just couldn't get over it. I could not get over it at all. Like, I can't believe this. You can literally get CPS called on you for helping your child. So, let me back up a little bit, because I forgot to tell you, when the doctor called me and told me CPS was coming, I hung up from her and I called the dermatologist, because she said the dermatologist was the ones that put trauma in the report, and that's what had to happen. And the CPS man had told me that when I was asked about his scarring and whatever, I didn't have much to say, like I was unconcerned or whatever the case might be. And I'm like, what? So that's why I called him, like, okay. I called the doctor, left a message on them. I told him, I say, why did your office put in my son's medical records that when asked about his injuries, I seemed unconcerned or didn't care? And he told me, he was like, I did not put that in there at all. He was literally like going home, because he called me back from my text message that night, probably about 6 something. And you could tell he was driving, because he was like, wait a minute, I'm in my car right now. You hear the keys, he driving and whatnot. He was like, hold on, let me check. He was like, no. He did not put anything in there stating that I didn't respond or was unconcerned about that. I said, okay. I left it alone. So now when CPS come and I tell them what's going on, he wouldn't show me, and I know he couldn't, you know, in the actual papers, what it said or so forth. He just said, that's what they said, you know. But anyway, he talked to me. He talked to my husband. He already went to school, talked to my son, you know. Looked through the house, everything. He went in the basement, and that's where my husband's son, you know, go, because they be down here chilling. When he he chill, go in the basement, whatnot. So while he looking through the house, he was down there. He like, oh, you didn't tell me he was down. You know, you had somebody down. I say, well, you said you needed to talk to the people that live here. He doesn't live here. So he needed to talk to him anyway. So now you down there talking to this, my husband's son. He don't even stay in the house. Asking him, you know, has he ever been hid and this, that, the other? Have he seen anything go on in the house that was violent and all this, that, and the other? And after it was over, his son was like, yeah, that was weird. You know, because for one, he never even had a spanking by my husband. So he like, I don't know what they talking about. I ain't never even been spanked. And I ain't never even seen no type of abuse here since I've been here. But it made him feel some type of way. I understand. For one, they ask you about your father, you know, and what's going on and this, that, and the other. Let me tell you something. It ended up being nothing because I had done nothing. So, about 45 days later, about 45 days later, I get the call that the case has been dropped. But I had a CPS case open for over 30 days, at least 30. A 30-day open CPS case. Really? So basically, I'm just saying, be careful. It's even helping your kids, obviously. You know, you still look suspicious. You look suspicious if you ain't doing nothing. You look suspicious if you is doing something. I mean, I was really furious, you know, that they called CPS, and I had been doing everything in my power to find out what was wrong with him. Okay? Multiple trips to the urgent care, doing everything they told me to do. They said make an appointment. The doctor said make an appointment with the dermatologist. I did. I took him everything they asked me to do. I did in terms of care and taking his medication. I did it all. And yet, that still wasn't enough. And when we was in the doctor's office, you know, I just don't like their demeanor. I understand that, you know, when it comes down to children and abuse, they have to be careful and so forth. But I forgot what the question was, but she asked him a question. Oh my gosh, what was it? Anyway, she said, do you want me to ask her to leave? Like real stank. Like, lady, you don't have to ask me to leave. I'll leave out, you know, because I have nothing to hide. I am not worried that he's going to tell you anything about what was done to him by me or anybody else in the household, because it's not happening. But it was just the way she did it. You know what I'm saying? She gonna like go by me and be like, would you like for me to ask her to leave? Like I was just some random woman and wasn't his mama. You know, she didn't even say, would you like, you know, for me to ask your mom to step out for a minute if you know, she just was like, do you want me to ask her to leave? I'm looking like, what the? But that goes to show you how the whole hookup changed. You know, they treat you different. You know, I hadn't done nothing, but it didn't matter. You know, you asked her to leave. Wow. Her is his mom, and her has a name. I was so flabbergasted, pissed, hurt. Everything balled up in one. I never would have thought that would happen. Ever. You know. Never would have thought it. But my whole point, before I leave, just be careful. You know, I didn't know they could, if they wrote something up as trauma to the child, that CPS is automatically called. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I can say is thank goodness for me that I wasn't doing no shady crap, you know, and something bad was going on in my household or whatever the case might be. So I didn't have anything to worry about. When the doctor told me that that was coming, I was not concerned at all. I was furious. I was so hurt and furious. But I wasn't concerned because I wasn't doing nothing. They could look at my house and tell, like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? He's the fourth of 4 boys. He the only one left in the house. He don't need for nothing. Nothing. Ain't nothing tragic happening to him. If anything, something tragic happening to me, just dealing with a 16-year-old every day. I got trauma. How about that? How about somebody diagnosed me with trauma just dealing with a 16-year-old every day? How about that? You know what? It might be too late to ask them, can I get some? I got trauma. But anyway, I just wanted y'all to know. Maybe some people did know, maybe some didn't. But it just really shocked the mess out of me. That helping your child get CPS called on you and what protocol is. It's crazy as crap. Wendys is off the hook. Oh my gosh. I just merely stopped here because, one, I was hungry. So I figured, you know, I'd eat, talk to y'all, and so forth, and get me something that really didn't make a mess. I ain't want no burger and nothing, got mayo dripping from my mouth, all that type of stuff. I'd rather just deal with something easy to, you know, eat with, not make a mess with today. But they busy as molasses. I love they chicken. I think they got one of the healthiest chicken nuggets out there. You know? Supposed to be all, I think they say, is it all white meat, all dark meat, or 100% meat, whatever it is. They good. So, just know, something happened, and they can't find the answer, they may think it's you. And if it's case, now it might just be here in Michigan, I don't know. But if it's put in the system as trauma, CPS is coming. But anyway, I thank y'all for listening. I put this out here for people that have, you know, little children or whatever the case might be. Just as an informational video, you know, to make you aware and be careful. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Join us. Hit that notification bell for future videos. Give me a thumbs up. Bye.